I must have left 1,000 times, but every day begins the same. 'Cause there's a small town in my mind. How can I leave without hurting everyone that made me? How can I leave without hurting everyone that made me? Oh baby, baby, it's all about the moon. I wish you wouldn't broke my camera, 'cause we're gonna get real old real soon. Today we're younger than we ever gonna be. Today we're younger than we ever gonna be. Woo! Today we're younger than we ever gonna be. Stop, stop, what's the hurt? Come on baby, don't you worry, worry. Everybody not so nice, nice. Everybody not so nice, nice. Stop, stop, what's the hurry? Come on baby, don't you worry, worry. Everybody not so nice, nice. Everybody not so nice, nice. Thought you ought to know about now. I thought you ought to know about now. Everybody not so nice, nice. Everybody not so nice, nice. Oh baby, 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 it's all about the moon. I must have left 1,000 times, but there's a small town in my mind. How can I leave without hurting everyone that made me? How can I leave without hurting everyone that made me? Woo! How can I leave without hurting everyone that made me? Oh, how can I leave without hurting everyone that made me? Oh, how can I leave without hurting everyone that made me? Oh, how can I leave without hurting everyone that made me? Thanks a lot. That's it, it's split, it won't recover. Just frame the house and call them brothers. Find your fathers and your mothers, if you remember who they are. Over and over, they call us their friends. Can't we find something else to pretend? Like nobody won and we're safe at the end. In the darkness, the film machine's spinning, so let's leave it on. We'll be out in the street before anyone knows that we're gone. That's it, it's split, can't recover. Just frame the house and call them a hole, and chip at the bricks and fill up your pockets with the pieces of the wall that you stole. The hunt is on, everyone's chasing a shot. A shot rings out, nobody wants it, nobody wants it to stop.
That's it, it's split, it won't recover. Just frame the halves and call them brothers. Find your fathers and your mothers, if you remember who they are. If you remember, if you remember, if you remember, if you remember who they are.
Jack Disher of Only Son. Piano is not firewood yet. They try to remember, but still they forget that the heart beats in three, just like a waltz, and nothing can stop you from dancing. Rise from your cold hospital bed, I tell you you're not dying. Everyone knows you're going to live. So you might as well start trying. Piano is not firewood yet, but the cold does get cold, so it soon might be that I'll take it apart, call up my friends, and we'll warm up our hands by the fire. Don't look so shocked, don't judge so harsh. You don't know, you're only spying. Everyone knows it's going to hurt. But at least we'll get hurt trying. The piano is not firewood yet, but a heart can't be helped, and it gathers regret. Someday you'll wake up and feel a great pain, and you'll miss every toy you've ever owned. You'll want to go back, you'll wish you were small, nothing console your crying. You'll take the clock off of your wall, and you'll wish that it was lying. A man inside a room is shaking hands with other men. This is how it happens, our carefully laid plan. Shake it, baby. Shake your ass out in that street. You're gonna make them scream someday. You're gonna make it big. You love so deep, so tender, your people and your land. You love them until they can't recall who they are again. Work it, baby. Work your way around that room. You're gonna make it big someday. You're gonna make a boom. But I am not a number, not a name. But I am a carefully laid plan. Shake what your mama gave you. You know that it won't last. You're gonna taste the ground real soon. You're gonna taste the grass. A man inside a room is shaking hands with other men. This is how it happens, our world under command. Shake it, baby. Shake your ass out in that street. You're gonna make us scream someday. You're gonna make us weep. You're gonna make us scream someday. You're gonna make it big. How can I forget your love? How can I never see you again? There is a time and place for one more sweet embrace. And there's a time, ooh, when it all, went wrong. I guess you know by now that we will meet again somehow. Oh, baby, how can I begin again? How can I try to love someone new, someone who isn't you? How can I love be true when I'm not over you? I guess you know by now that we will meet again somehow. Time can come and take away the pain, but I just want my memories to remain, to hear your voice, to see your face. There's not one moment I'd erase. You are a guest here now. So baby, how can I forget your love? How can I never see you again? How can I ever know why some stay, others go? Oh, and I don't want you to go. I guess I know by now that we will meet again somehow. Time can come and wash away the pain. But I just want my mind to stay the same, to hear your voice, to see your face. There's not one moment I'd erase. You are a guest here now. So baby, how can I forget your love? How can I never see you again? Thank you. All the rowboats and the paintings, they keep trying to row away. And the captain's worried faces stay contorted and staring at the waves. They'll keep hanging in the gold frames for forever, forever and a day. All the rowboats and the oil paintings, they keep trying to row away, row away. Hear them whispering French and German, Dutch, Italian and Latin. When no one's looking, I touch a sculpture marble, cold and soft as satin. But the most special or the most lonely, God, I pity the violins. In glass coffins, they keep coughing. They've forgotten how to sing, how to sing. Da 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 da, da 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 da. First there's lights out, then there's lock up. Masterpieces serving maximum sentences. It's their own fault for being timeless. There's a price to pay and a consequence. All the galleries, the museums, here's your ticket, welcome to the tombs. They're just public mausoleums. The living dead fill every room. But the most special or the most lonely, God, I pity the violins. In glass coffins, they keep coughing. They've forgotten how to sing. They will stay there in the gold frames for forever, forever and a day. All the rowboats and the oil paintings, they keep trying to row away, row away. First there's lights out, then there's lock up. Masterpieces serving maximum sentences. It's their own fault for being timeless. There's a price to pay and a consequence. All the galleries, the museums, they will stay keep trying to roll away, roll away. Down on Bowery, they lose their ball eyes and their lip mouths in the night. And stumbling through the street, they say, "Sir, do you got a light?" And if you do, then you're my friend. And if you don't, then you're my foe. And if you want a tea of any sort, then please don't go. Ne me quitte pas mon cher, ne me quitte pas. Ne me quitte pas mon cher, ne me quitte pas. And down on Lexington, they're wearing new shoes stuck to aging feet and close their eyes and open and not recognize the aging street and think about how things were right when they were young and veins were tight. And if you are the ghost of Christmas past, then won't you stay tonight? Ne me quitte pas mon cher, ne me quitte pas. Ne me quitte pas mon cher, ne me quitte pas. Bronx, the kids go sledding down snow-covered slopes and frozen noses, frozen toes. The frozen city starts to glow. And yes, they know that it'll melt. And yes, they know New York will thaw. But if you are a friend of any sort, then play along and catch a cold. Ne me quitte pas mon cher, ne me quitte pas. Ne me quitte pas mon cher, ne me quitte pas. Thank you. The food that I'm eating is suddenly tasteless. I know I'm alone now. I know what it tastes like. So break me to small parts. Let go in small doses, but spare some for spare parts. There might be some good ones, like you might make $1. I'm inside your mouth now, behind your tonsils, peeking over your molars. You're talking to her now. You've eaten something minty and you're making that face car and I need your love. I need your money, it'll help me. I need your car and I need your love. So won't you help a brother out? Won't you help a brother out? Won't you help a brother out, 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 out? Just break me to small parts. Let go in small doses, but spare some for spare parts. We might make $1. You might make $1. So won't you help a brother out? Won't you help a brother out? Won't you help a brother out, 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 out? Just break me to small parts. Let go in small doses, but spare some for spare parts. There might be some good ones. You might make $1. There might be some good ones. There might be some good ones. You might make $1. You might make $1. There might be some good ones. There might be some good ones. Thank you. You're like a party somebody threw me. You taste like birthday. You look like New Year. You're like a big parade through town. You leave such a mess, but you're so fun. Tell all the neighbors to start knocking down walls, to grab their guitars and run out to the hall. And we'll be coming out right along to sing them our new song. For every place there is a bus that'll take you where you must. Start counting all your money and friends before you come back again. For every road we can't retrace, for every memory we can't face, for every name that's been erased, let's have another round. May I propose a little toast for all the ones who hurt the most, for all the friends that we have lost. Let's give them one more round of applause. But you're like a party somebody threw me. You taste like birthday. You look like New Year. You're like a big parade through town. You leave such a mess, but you're so fun. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Hey guys, Regina Spektor. That was kind of amazing. And also to see it up close, because I've been listening to you for a very long time, and to hear you and actually watch you at the piano was kind of incredible. My son had his first piano lesson last week. And no, it's moving because, you know, I watch you and it's just like, wow. How do you feel? How are you doing?
Warm.
I know it's so hot in here. Thank you, guys.
It's nice. No, like in every way warm.
Good. Okay, that's a good warm to be. I heard at your Greek theater show that you said it was your 23rd anniversary of coming to the United States.
Yeah,
Yes?
last night. Yeah.
Last night was your 23rd anniversary. Welcome.
Thanks.
23 years later. Regina, for those of you who don't know, came to America when she was 9 years old with her parents from Russia. And I think that's kind of, yours is the classic immigrant story to me. And it, in a weird way, and I think it's mostly because I've heard so much of your music, it feels like almost a turn of the century immigrant story. And what I want to know is how do you feel on this anniversary?
It was really nice. I talked on the phone to my parents and my brother, and actually, bizarrely enough, last night they were dropping my brother off to the airport that we came to so that he could go and fly to Israel to study there for a year. So it's kind of really, like, I was getting texts at the Greek from my dad who was like, life is really funny. It's weird. Like, it was like, yeah, a circle within a circle within a circle.
It is, but I also feel like that's sort of what ultimately brings us all together. And to talk about a circle within a circle, and I read that you came to America. Your father on the subway heard a man with an Eastern European accent, spoke to him. You then subsequently went to his wife, who has become your piano teacher and has been your teacher for all of these years and has taught you classical piano. Can you talk about your teacher and how that evolved?
You know, Sonia and Sam, they're such a part of our family now. They're just so amazing in every way. They're such heroes of mine, but just they're kind of the best case scenario for human, kind of. but also the way that Sonia even became my teacher, I mean, I was such a brat. Because what happened?
Explain what happened.
Well, my dad started talking to Sam on the subway.
And how old are you now? You're 9?
I was, no, because I had missed about a year, so I guess I must have been 10 and a half now. And they were talking, and Sam had a violin case, and my dad, you know, and my dad had played violin in his youth, and God, he'll be mad that I said in his youth. You're still young, Dad. And when he was younger, he played violin. And so, you know, it's one of those things where, I mean, I think it's so important to have like public art and like PBS and public stations, all that, because it's so hard for people who can't afford art to get it. And so, you know, I think immigrants are just lots of people who also don't have money, just like immigrants. One of the things that we were missing so much in life was going to classical concerts, hearing classical music, and just live, you know. And so my dad mentioned, you know, that we used to go all the time to classical concerts, and Sam said, well, me and my wife are about to go and tour in Spain and play duets, and she is going to play piano, I'm going to play violin. Why don't you come over to our house and, you know, we'll play you our program for your whole family. So we went up to their house, and it was like the coolest house ever, with like 2 pianos and 4 cats and a bird and 2 dogs, and, you know, best case scenario humans, like I said. So full of plants and life and happiness. And they played us their program, and it was amazing. And we hadn't heard music live for a really long time. And then, of course, I came up to Sonia afterwards, being like a 10-and-a-half-year-old brat, and said, "Can you be my teacher?" And like totally put her on the spot. And my mom turned red, and everybody was just like, oh God, we didn't teach this child anything. Yeah. And Sonia
But that
said,
was the
of
moment.
course. Yeah. So she was just, and ever since then, she was my teacher. And she started teaching me when I didn't have a piano yet. And so we would go and practice at her house. And basically, like, art adopted us, me and my cousin, and taught us for, years.
One of the things I thought was incredible in one of the pieces I read about you was where you talked about in those early days, if you didn't have a piano in front of you, you played on the table, or you played on the windowsill, which I think is kind of amazing. There are a lot of young people here tonight who maybe are musicians or maybe want to be musicians. So tell me about what that was. Did you just want to do scales on the table?
Yeah, it just, I mean, it's not like, I much preferred a real piano. But I think that, there is, and I don't know if this is like something that other piano players also feel, but like piano, or just any instrument, it's just so comforting to play, and you just, and it just feels so good to play. And I was never, my parents had to go practice, because I'd much rather, I wanted to just instantly play without practicing, like everybody, and except for the really good, like, studious kids, and so but it was a good lesson, because I was kept away from it. It actually made me want to practice so much, and so eventually I was just seeking out, just the feeling of playing and not losing all that technique, and not, forgetting everything.
It's kind of an incredible thing, because you think, oh, anybody can go play a piano, but if you don't have one, you need to practice somewhere. Okay, so I want to move ahead, because listening to your music, and I told everybody this in my introduction, but the song that kind of freaked me out about you was that song Your Honor, which was on Soviet Kitsch, which I think some of you know. And I hear punk rock and just sort of plain idiosyncrasy in your music. And so as you're becoming a teenager, now you're 10 and a half, you're playing piano, whatever, like what freaked you out in music? What changed your life? Was it punk rock? Was it hip hop? You're in New York, in the Bronx, at a certain time. I gotta think there's some heavy influences there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that for a long time, my influences were classical music, the Beatles, and Russian bards that were just like beautiful guitar, poetic songs, just like a person and a guitar, and really cool ones like Vladimir Vysotsky or Bulata Kujava, people like that. Got that?
There are people that I'm guessing nobody in this room knows them, including me. These are people and sounds you grew up with in your house, right?
Yeah, and these are like heroes of all Soviet Russians, especially. Yeah, because these are just, I mean, Vladimir Vysotsky, he was an actor, a poet. He played, he was a well-known kind of experimental stage actor, but he wrote hundreds and hundreds of songs that were not allowed to be recorded, but everybody in Russia had cassettes of his music and knew all of his songs, and people would record house concerts, and then like one cassette would travel through all of Russia, and people just, I mean, we had hundreds of his songs, just and every family did.
So there's this Russian music, there's the New York punk scene or whatever.
I got exposed to like all that stuff a lot later. Like I'm always one of those people who's like, I think I found out about David Bowie when I was like 24.
That's okay.
It's like I'm a very behind everything person, and like and
but that's awesome.
And
I love knowing that about you.
I don't know. Ignorance, awesome. I don't know. It's not purposeful ignorance, but it's accidental ignorance. But yeah, it was. So I think every time I would discover something, whether like you said, like in the Bronx, you naturally just you get to hear hip hop, you get to hear a lot of Latin music, you get to hear all kinds of things. So I got to hear that, and then every time I would, because we didn't have cable, so if I went to like a cousin's house who had MTV, then I would like see a Nirvana video, and like my whole brain would get turned on. So it's really that kind of thing of just like collaging yourself together.
Well, you were talking about the bards, the Russian bards you know and love from your youth. To me, that's a giant storytelling aspect of your music. And one of the things that appeals to me about what you do is, well, there's the storytelling part of it, which is, I think, amazing, and something maybe you girls would relate to, which is, I find that there's this line between love and despair, between comedy and fear. It's a tight line, and you walk it in a way that I find fascinating. And I don't know if you can talk about the way you write songs, if that's too personal, or if that's something you can talk about.
It's always really hard to talk about songs because it's pretty mysterious, and I don't know. I always get so happy when I'm like, yes, I wrote one. Like, it's such an amazing feeling, and you feel really lucky. Like, I feel really lucky whenever I get to write a song. Like, it's never lost on me. Like it's never like a throwaway, casual thing. Like, oh, I get so happy with my entire being.
Where do they live with you? Where do they live with you? Because I've heard that they live in your head, that you don't write them down as much. Is that true?
It's bad. Don't follow my example. I forget so much stuff. Yeah. Everybody should do the opposite of what I do and write stuff down. It's not cool. But now I've become a little bit better because I can record stuff into the computer. I used to just forget everything. But I think that a lot of I don't know if this is like just my kind of ancient through generations of like Russian Jew kind of thing, but I think that like everything is divided, so whenever you're really happy, there's always a little bit of that like bittersweet, like, and I don't know if it comes from just like constantly being aware that like you're a rarity and all these people died and you get to live, or all these other kind of big things, like you never know when they're gonna come and pogrom you. So, but I think that that's probably a lot of that is like in the art, and that's why I think it's so kind of the happy stuff always has a little bit of that, and the sad stuff always has that little bit of joy.
No, it's that, and I think that's why it's powerful, and I think that's why I have to say another thing that intrigues me about you is your fans. I mean, people are passionate about your music, and I think what you just said is probably the reason why, but I wonder, how do you react to that? How do you feel about, I mean, when you come to play at the Greek Theater or here, it's like the Beatles just showed up from London for the first time, and do you register that?
Yeah, I mean, most of the time I just walk around being like in a total daze, being like, I can't deal with this much love that's being thrown at me. It's really like last night at the Greek, it was just, I just couldn't believe it. I mean, it's really, it's an amazing feeling. Like you feel so happy to be, and I think it's like we live in such a world where when people gather all together, a lot of the time it's like kind of either, for like in an army or, in a kind of protest. And so a lot of times like when people all gather together, it's kind of charged with this, either, anger or frustration or fear. And I think that when you gather together in like music festivals or venues and you're just there all together, it's such an amazing thing because we're so, you know, we're so separated from each other, and there's a lot of, you know, kind of, it's amazing. I'm super grateful for the internet, and I'm very, I feel very lucky that I live in a time where I could share my music, you know, in such distant places that I haven't ever gone to. But in another way, you know, we're so divided from each other, and people are kind of like, and so it's so nice when you're like in the same space with other people and you get to just be together and happy. I don't know. I get very happy about that.
Well, I think tonight is one of those nights. And I think we should give Regina a giant thank you for coming out. She's been really busy on tour. I know you're continuing to go out. And I just want to thank you. All of us at KCRW are so
much.
excited.
Thanks, Anne. Thank you so much for having me here. And I love you, KCRW. Thank you for supporting my music. And thank you all for coming.
Thank you guys for coming tonight. Let's say goodnight to Regina.